Welcome back into American Agenda. I've often thought this and had conversations about Trump eventually winding up being one of the most significant and consequential figures in all of American history. If you're part of the MAGA movement, you already know this. Well, there's a lot of people, that includes much of the media, who don't, though. If you ever watch our program, you know I get on liberal media's case quite often, but maybe there's some hope for them. Others, not so much, which I'm going to explain that in just a minute. But first, I do want to get to this. Politico's John Harris, he's the founding editor, global editor-in-chief of Politico. Here's the article he penned, quote, "Time to admit it, Trump is a great president. He's still trying to be a good one. I think it's about time people start admitting it, even if it comes with that little grain of salt that he put in there, writing he's trying to be a good one. You could argue against that. But what stood out to me the most of what he wrote in this article, again, is something the MAGA movement already knew. It's this. What he didn't show in his first term or on his improbable pathway to a second was an ability to bring these conflicts to resolution, to unite the country on a new level of understanding." Okay, now I also can argue he did show the ability during these conflicts to show a resolution in his first term, but he was fought tooth and nail the whole time through a variety of methods, media, Democrats, rhinos, whatever it may be. But it's this part right here I want to highlight this. To unite the country on a new level of understanding. His movement is now the overwhelming movement in the majority of the country. It has finally sunk in. Took a long time, a lot of fighting. He was nearly killed, but without question, he has brought America into a new level of understanding things. You look at everything people are on board with now. You look at fixing immigration from top to bottom, trade practices that put the American worker first, a peace through strength military, DEI initiatives. Oh my gosh, goodbye, getting rid of them today. A government hiring system based on merit. The list goes on. All things that he has been campaigning on ever since he came down the golden escalator right there back in 2015. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. It was not easy, but America is fundamentally changed. You cannot argue that now. And Trump knows this, so don't worry. He said that on Inauguration Day. Let's listen.
My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
Pretty inspiring there, but not everyone's going to get it. Many in the liberal media, they are hell-bent on fighting him until the very end. But I have a thought today. Who cares? Try and make him look bad. And I got you moment. Press him on things. Who cares anymore? They've been exposed. That's why I want to pivot to this. It was this exchange between Trump and NBC's Peter Alexander talking about the January 6 pardons, bringing up a comment from Vice President Vance, almost as if he's trying to create some kind of friction between the two. And then I also want you to notice Alexander's facial expressions while Trump is talking here. Let's bring it up.
I want to ask you about the Vice President, J.D. Vance. He said, this is a week ago, he said, if you committed violence on January 6th, obviously you should not be pardoned. Why is your vice president wrong?
Well, only for one reason. They've served years in jail. They should not have served.
18,
excuse
12,
me.
20 years.
And they've served years in jail, and murderers don't even go to jail in this country. And we had 1,500. We have 16 under review, as you know. We commuted about 16 of them because it looks like they could have done things that were not acceptable for a full pardon. But these people have served years of jail, and their lives have been ruined. And in many cases, listen to me for a second. Stop interrupting.
It's like he had to listen to Trump, but then make sure everyone knows he was thinking what Trump is saying is ridiculous. You know, you see his eyes, facial expressions. Then he interrupts. The president of the United States has to ask him to finish his sentence. Joe Biden never get that treatment? Reporters talking over him in the middle of an explanation. But we've seen this behavior for years. So as we enter this new era into our country, I say, who cares what they do or how they act towards the president? It only makes them look even worse than they already do.